Hi, this is Wishup, and this is your reading for the new moon in Sagittarius of December 18th, I think, yesterday, and heading forward until we hit the full moon in Cancer on January 1st, 2nd, I believe. So, sorry to be late. I was talking in the last video about do-overs, and I needed a massive one. I had to ask for one. So usually these readings apply to me in various ways. So you can let me know if you had anyone approach you for a do-over, a big one, or if you had to ask for any. Anyway, planetarily speaking, we are we're crossing a threshold. So all the planets, if you looked at them in the sky right now, well, not all of them, but Saturn and the Sun and Venus are all close together. Mercury's not far behind, and we're crossing the Milky Way. We're crossing that big river in the sky. It's the break, the hinge of the year, where we move across at the winter solstice from the shortest day of the year, and the days start getting longer in the northern hemisphere. Anyway, because we have that crossover point, there's a change of mood that I think most of us will find welcome, because things have been uncertain and we've been finding our way and kind of having to walk in faith, not knowing what the next thing to come will be or what the future will bring. So now that things are going into Capricorn season in a big way, Mercury's going direct, I think the 23rd, no, 22nd, I guess. And Pluto is going direct near Christmas. Saturn is moving into Capricorn. Pluto, I should mention, is in Capricorn. Mercury will be direct and then it will end up in Capricorn. Venus is already in Capricorn. So there's a lot of solid earthy energy. And it is energy that is results oriented. So it's very much an actions talk, BS walks kind of a thing. There's still this desire for ethics and high-mindedness, but the desire to see it in action. An important thing I think on the personal level is that if you've been working on new things, you're probably going to find a way or see an opportunity to leverage your existing skills or talents to get you far, to make a jump in whatever new thing is you're doing. Goats are kind of amazing, and they can even eat cans. And it's going to be the case. I know this is sort of a funny comparison, but you're going to be able to do something that other people would consider hard, very difficult. And you're going to be able to do it, best of all, with a sense of confidence. You're going to look at a task in front of you or a challenge that's part of this new effort that you're making in your life in some area. And it could really be any area. But you're going to look at a challenge and go, oh yeah, I can do that. And you'll have 70% of it covered because you're going to leverage things that you already have done, maybe relationships you already have, work that you've already put in is now going to come to the fore. You're going to be able to leverage it in a way that's going to allow you to make progress that you can see and feel. And it's going to feel terrific. And that return of confidence, I think, is going to be something very welcome. But it's not a pompous confidence, it's a real one. It's realistic, it's grounded. You know what you're capable of. It just so happens that it's not a skill set that everybody has. You're bringing your unique and individual qualities to the table, and it's going to show. You're going to have a chance to feel yourself. And I think that'll be great. I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, I decided to do heavens and deeps kind of Lenormand reading, and I have an extra oracle card from the vintage wisdom deck. So let's get started since there are a lot of cards and I ramble on. Oh, look at that. There we go. Okay. All right. Yep. And all right. Interesting. Okay. So this does relate somewhat to what I was saying. So let's talk about the center card, which is mice. And maybe I'll hold it close so you can really see. In Lenormand, the mice is not considered a very positive card most of the time, unless the mice happen to be nibbling away something that you don't want. The mice can signal a sense of loss, a sense of anxiety, something that, as I say, feels like it's being nibbled away or feels like it's being made not as good. You know, you can think of the little mice pellets they leave behind after they eat, something that's been diminished in some way, soiled, made less good. Now, this, I think, reflects the sense of anxiety that you may have had. I know I've had a sense of anxiety about what you're doing and where you're going. And this sense of not being sure that you're up to the challenge. And the ship in the sort of past position reflects that movement, this move to the new. I also think of the ship as a very Sagittarian card. So a great sense of ambition and hope and vision. And yet, having moved from this place, you're in the reality of it now and you're not sure you're up to it, or you haven't been sure you're up to it. And so what's interesting here, we have in the foundation of the realities, right? This is the realities. This is what's based on history. This is what's tangible too. We have the house, which is the card of foundations. It is also, for me, the card of fourth house, which would naturally be Cancer, which is the full moon that we're going towards. So to me, this says the foundations of what we're doing are solid. Now, you could see it. You could decide to go, well, these mice could be nibbling my foundations. They could be nibbling away at the foundations of what I'm trying to do. But I don't think that, because we've got the dog overhead. And the dog represents loyalty and having trustworthy companions and having people that you can depend on and being loyal to others. It represents lots of really great personal qualities. And that's what's coming from above. So I think it's saying that there are influences that are trying to help you to keep the faith. And those might even be influences that you're applying yourself. You might be doing a lot of affirmations or whatever kind of work you can do to keep the faith, because things have been unclear. We've been moving through this very up and down, not sure kind of a phase. And it has been for good reasons. Whatever it is you're in the middle of, you took on for good reasons. And now you have to keep the faith. But the foundations of what you're doing are solid. And really, this card, as with its ties to home and family, sort of deep family and people close to you, and this card, which is about friendship and fidelity, these emphasize that you do have support around you if you want to use it. But it also, to me, points out the qualities of you are building a good new foundation for your future, even if you feel nervous about it now. And the direction that we're going is Lily. And this is interesting because Lily is a long-term kind of card. It's a card for wisdom that has been earned over a long experience. But it's also a card, it can be a card of sexuality. It can be a card of gentle guidance. It can be an ancestral card. But looking at it in this, I would say that what's happening is you start something new with ship, and it could be a new career, new relationship, some sort of ambition, and something that you're starting for a good reason. You're feeling unsure about it, or you have been. And I feel like the planets are moving just to give us that little extra oomph. There's going to be a lot of oomph in the stars coming up. And we're moving towards the lily. We're moving towards the position where we don't feel like the newbie anymore. where we're able to feel a sense of competence. And as I was saying, we're able to rely on earned wisdom. We're able to rely on experiences that we have already had, things that we've already learned, that we already know about ourselves, talents and gifts that we have already worked to develop. And we're going to be able to leverage those at the situation or leverage those to make a difference in the current situation. So let me go forward into the Vintage Wisdom Oracle. Strength. I like it. Okay, let me show you. This is an absolutely beautiful strength, which looks almost like the star card, right? You can see it says star over her head here, and it says strength on the bottom. So if we think of this as sort of a combination of the star card, because she's plainly a star, she's plainly brave and unafraid, and yet it's also a call for strength. And we have these dragonflies, which we think of as this transformative kind of energy. It seems to me like we're doing it. We're making the transformation. And in some ways, we're crossing a threshold where the transformation that we're making isn't going to feel so difficult, like we have 100 different things to do. We're going to be leaping forward enough that there will still be new challenges, but we're going to be able to, I keep using the word leverage because that's really what I feel. We're going to be able to leverage the strength that we've already gained to stay faithful to our new goals or our new passions, and to make sure that we're building a firm foundation. And it's going to be based on being patient. Lily is a card of patience as well. So this is just being patient with yourself and just going back to, did I start this for the right reasons? Because if you did, you can get through the anxiety. This anxiety is a temporary thing. It's a dynamic feature. But if you persist through it, you're going to find a place that feels more peaceful, where you're going to reclaim your strength and you're going to feel really good about where you're at, or at least I think so. Let me do the foundation card since I have time. Oh, this is beautiful. The bottom of the deck in Lenormand is the heart. So it could be a relationship you're involved in, but it could just be your passions. It's reflecting the fact that if your true heart is invested in this, you're going to get through the temporary problems. Look for ways that you can make your life a little bit easier by leveraging things you've done before. If you're feeling a little lost, I do think that is kind of a repeat message. Let me go to the bottom of the Vintage Wisdom Oracle. Look at this. Beauty. So this is a gorgeous card. And we have Venus in Capricorn, which is, love and money, among other things, but abundance. And Capricorn is an earth sign. And so there is an emphasis on making things beautiful. And I think making your life beautiful, keeping in mind not only falling in love with your dreams and reminding yourself over and over again that you love them, like recommitting yourself to them, but also seeking the beauty in the process that you're undergoing. Looking for beautiful moments and looking for ways that you can make this process more beautiful for yourself. The last thing I sort of want to talk about is the success factor looks great. We are heading into the full moon in Cancer just after the first of the year, where you should be able to evaluate some of the fruits of what you've done. And I think the prospects look very good to take this energy now to make things concrete and real. So make sure that you're building in the beauty and that you're having confidence in your own strength, that you're using your support systems, and that you're reminding yourself why it was you started this journey in the first place. And until the next time, thank you very much for coming. Thanks all the new subscribers. Thank you for your likes and your comments as well. And until next time, rock on with your bad selves.